Well, welcome to First Off the Bikes Try 101. With me is Andrew Jones from Cycle Speed.
Morning, Tim.
Morning, Andrew. Today we're talking about bike fit. What to know, what not to know when you're about to purchase a tri bike.
Thank you, Tim. We're going to have a little chat about bike fit, and the whole premise really of what we're talking about is how to keep it simple. Unfortunately, bike fit's one of those topics that gets far too complicated, and far more complicated than it should be, when for most age groupers it really is a fairly simple exercise. If we look at the basic goal of your tri-bike fit, what we're trying to achieve is a comfortable aero position where you can stay down on your aero bars for the majority of the ride in relative comfort. It shouldn't hurt, it shouldn't place a lot of strain on your body, and it should basically be a position that you can just hold and put out a reasonable amount of power, and above all else, stay aero. It doesn't matter how aero your position is. If it's uncomfortable or you can't hold it or you can't put the power down, then you're wasting your time. Just very briefly, if we look at why you don't go faster, why you hit those sort of mid-30 speeds and that's as fast as you can go, about 5 or 10% of your problem is your tyre drag, and about 90-95% of your problem is pushing your body and your bike through the air. So broadly, shoving you and your bike through the air is the main problem. If we break that down a little bit further, you'll find that your bike is about 15% of your drag and you're about 85% of your drag. So in real terms, shoving your body through the wind is really the problem that we're trying to solve when we're looking at a bike fit issue. But at the same time, you have to be able to put out a reasonable amount of power, and you have to do it in a way that's going to let you run off the bike. If we look back to traditional bike fitting methods, we used to use things like plumb bobs, and they still have a fair bit of relevance with knee over pedal spindle for road bikes and possibly mountain bike fits. But I think with the steeper angles that we run in triathlon now, plumb bobs aren't of so much use to us anymore because that knee is way forward of where the pedal is given the steeper seat angles that we're currently running. However, really the only two tools that you need to get a reasonable bike fit is a good old-fashioned tape measure so that you can take track of your numbers, and my favourite, a goniometer to measure the angles. Now, let's talk a little bit about what it is we're trying to achieve. We want to achieve that skier's tuck, or that aero position, and we want to make it comfortable. So broadly what we're looking for is a position where you can get nearly sort of a 90-degree bend through your elbows, because we want to position most of your weight over the front of the aero bars, and you can get a nice, comfortable skeletal support on top of your bike. If we can achieve that, and we can get the seat angle right, and we can get enough height into the front end so that you can stay there, then we've broadly got a triathlon position that'll work. If you look at seat angles these days, we've really narrowed down to just a couple of positions that work for people. If you give me 20 athletes to fit, about 18 or 19 of them will do their best work at around about 77 or 78 degrees of seat tube angle. Every so often I get that one guy or girl that needs to sit back a little bit slacker, back at around 75 or 76 as I measure it, but that's unusual. So broadly, that's really all we're trying to do with tri-bike fit. We're trying to put you in a position where you can stay aero for the duration of the ride, where it's comfortable to stay in your aero bars for the duration of the ride, and you can run off the bike. And that's basically bike fit.
Well, that was a little bit about tri-bike fit, what to know, what not to know when you're about to purchase a tri-bike. Coming up next week, we're going to talk a little bit about saddle selection, what to know and what not to know when you're purchasing a saddle.